Good morning, loves, and welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to be starting something new. And I know I've been gone for too long. I put out one video and I dipped, but I'm going to be better. It's a new year. We're almost done with the year. I can get better within these next couple of months. But today I'm going to be starting something new, which would be weekly diary entries for something that I started on Monday, which was the 75-day hard challenge. So let's get right into it. So I have my phone here only because I jotted down some notes on what I wanted to say, because speaking into this camera is still very new to me. And I get tongue tied, twisted up, don't know what to say. So I have my phone here with some notes on it. So, like I said before, on Monday I started the 75-day hard challenge. And it was something that I wanted to do to help me jump back into being consistent with my nutrition and working out, but to also help me stay motivated. Since because I'm not in any type of prep at the moment, I needed something to get my behind back into gear. Let's just say that. So, I put a little twist on the regular 75-day hard challenge that everybody knows of. I just tweaked it to my liking and added some things or took out some things that I personally wanted to grow on. So here I have the rules that I made up. I kept some of the original rules from the original 75-day hard challenge, but I added in my own just so it's something that's more personalized and individualized towards me. Ooh, that was a tongue twister. So let's talk about the main goals. So I'm gonna break this up into two talking points. I have physical, mental, and spiritual. So for my physical goal, like I said before, is to maintain consistency and adhere to that motivation towards myself to keep going with the program. But the main goals is to lose weight, drop body fat, and also to gain muscle, because eventually I do want to get back into bodybuilding prep. I just want to drop down low enough to a point where I don't have to work off that much once I jump back in it with my coach. The second goal that I want to work on is my mental goal. And for that is more of self-awareness and being more mindful. Listen, I'm the type of person that I pour into others, and nothing gets poured back into me. So this is the time for me to pour into myself, learn what I like and dislike, learn what triggers me, learn how to control my emotions and how I react, learn to enjoy myself, just learn all the ins and outs about me, because if I don't learn me, how are other people going to be able to learn me? My spiritual goal, and that is to grow on my relationship with God. Um, my main goal is that I want to become closer to Him and become the woman that He wants me to be. So this is a time for me for the next 75 days just to get in the habit of turning to Him first. Avoid doing the little things like waking up, grabbing my phone and going onto Instagram. Take that time to dedicate to Him first thing in the morning before I start my whole day off. So the next part is about reading. And on my list, I said to read either a fiction or a nonfiction book, because I'm the type of person, I can tell, I got a bookcase behind me. I love to read. So the book that I chose to start off with it's called A Champion's Mind by Jim Afranow. And I actually just started chapter 1. I know, I'm late and a little behind. But we did read. Okay, so give me credit there. We did read. We just start reading. Okay. And the main thing I'm going to take away from chapter 1 is this quote. And it's going to be something that I'm going to basically program in my mind, is to think gold. Never settle for silver. Because if I'm going back to bodybuilding, we're in it to win. And even say if I don't get the placing that I like, did we win in other ways? Did we win by improving on our physique from the last time we were in prep? Did our mental state change? Did we enjoy the process instead of rushing through the moments? Did the workouts change? Again, did we include muscle mind connection into the workouts instead of going through the motions? So that's the goal. Okay? Think gold, not silver. Okay? Never settle for less. Something that I want to do with these diary entries is to use the rose, thorn, and bud method, and that's more of a reflective tool just to go over and to reflect on your day or week in this instance because it's a weekly diary, and to talk about the highlights of your day, what needs to be worked on, and like challenges you had during the week, and something that you're looking forward to. My rose is that I am happy that I fully committed to this. It wasn't just something that I spewed out and said I was going to do and never did it. No, I stood on my 10 toes and we started this thing. So that is something that I'm really proud of myself for doing. Another rose moment for me would be trying new things. So I actually got back into boxing and I did a Pilates class this week. So it was more of like kind of getting out of my comfort zone because lifting weights is my comfort zone because I've been doing that for so long. So adding new classes in or stuff or classes that I haven't tried before was new to me. Well, boxing I've done, but I haven't done it in a year. And I never took my boxing gloves out the bag. But hear me out. Well, at least we took the class. At least we tried it out, right? So again, those would be my roses for this week. My thorn, I would say, because of my schedule, I would say, I always tell myself, hey, I'm gonna wake up early to go work out. And then I don't go. So I end up working out at night. But however, I'm a night owl. I like doing things at night, but because of my schedule, it kind of makes it hard for me to do anything at night. Because by the time I'm done with work and I'm done with school, like I just want to go to bed. I want to be back in my home, in my bed, rubbing my feet together. So this is why I always tell myself, hey, work out early so that way you ain't got to worry about it later. So that is something we're going to be working on for this week. Okay. Monday, I'm going to that gym early, even if it's just to do cardio in the morning or half of my workout routine. At least half of it is done. So by the time I go to work, I can make out the other half and I don't have to sit there and do all of it in one time. The other thing, my other thorn would be eating. Just eating enough and getting everything in and tracking everything. Future Tyler, are we hearing this? Get better at tracking your meals, okay? Because you've been slack. This week was slack. Even though we improved on eating more than one meal a day, we also need to be tracking. Future Tyler, you better be listening to this because next week when we do these diary entries, I want to see us in my fitness pal tracking our food. So last but not least is the bud. For me, my bud would be seeing my growth in all the aspects. So physically, mentally, and spiritually. We have 75 days. So within these 75 days, there's going to be changes. I know I'm going to be a different person on day 75 compared to day 1. So that is something that I'm looking forward to seeing. All right, to end the vlog, I'm going to ask myself 2 questions. And these 2 questions actually came from this book right here. And then when I read them and the concept of them, I was like, yep, we're going to be doing this every week with these vlogs, asking these 2 questions at the end. So the first question is, how was I a champion this week? For me, I would say I was a champion this week because I, again, showed up. I showed up and I stayed committed. You know, like I said, there are some times I will say I will do something and I won't do it. No, we stood on business this time. We showed up and we showed out and we did different things, tried new activities, worked on nutrition. So that's how I was a champion this week. The next question would be, how am I going to be a champion next week? And for next week, I will say pushing through. pushing through and staying with the program, staying consistent on what we're doing. Do not give up. Even when your body is tired, your mind is tired, your spirit is tired, still show up. Just do it. That's all we got. This is the reason why we're doing this in the first place. We still got to show up and show out. And lock it in. We got goals to reach. We got to lock it in. I hope you guys like this little recap of week 1 of the 75-day challenge. I will see you guys next week for a recap of week 2. Bye.